Welcome back to the Bankroll Challenge, everyone. We're back on 2-L for standard tables. Just grinded up. The bankroll is about $94, so we'll try and make our way back up to 100 so I can get back onto 5-L. And we'll flat. This guy seems quite tight. He's only played 26 hands, but he's got a 12% VPIP, so he doesn't seem like an idiot so far. So we'll just flat this king queen off. Not a lot going on. There's a backdoor straight draw and 2 overcards, so we'll see what price he makes it. And it goes sort of 60% pot. I think I'm just going to fold. Could be betting heart draws like this, so if we spunk a queen or king of hearts, we might get ourselves in a bit of trouble. So I'm just going to fold. Just had a bit of a reflection on the last session that crippled the bankroll off. Some bad luck, run bad, but quite a bit of bad play when I've looked back at it. And stuff I've preached to people who I've done some sessions with, and stuff I've said to you guys when I've been playing and doing talk-throughs. Trying to get people off top pair when they've donked into us. They don't want to fold. 2-L and 5-L are more or less identical. If they're donking out, if you are raising them and they call, jamming on turns and stuff like that, they're just not going to fold. They do not want to fold. Those are the players that make you money to get you out of these stakes. So what I was thinking, trying to get them off hands. At 10-L, you've got a little bit more leeway with bluffing. Players do think a bit more at that stake, and then obviously moving up to 25. But 2 and 5, just value bet. It's just value. Don't try and get people off stuff at all. Doesn't work. So we've got our ace queen offsuit here on the button. I'm just going to flat against this guy, I think. We'll have a quick look at what his pre-flop stats are. We haven't got many hands on. He seems to be fishy so far, so we'll just call. See what happens. And this king jack offsuit with us being 3-bet, he's not made it an egregious size, and he is quite aggressive, but this is a little bit too weak to call. And then back to this ace queen. That doesn't hit his range at all, really, but with him having a 40% VPIP, he can pretty much have any 2 cards here, really. If we had a heart, ace of hearts here, I would think about raising this as a bluff, but as it stands, I'm just going to be tight and fold. And we'll open the king queen off from the cutoff, and this we'll just see a flop with. There's no point in raising. Middle pair might be good here. I don't ever see an ace checking back, so we'll just pop a 1 big blind bet out. Try and get some value from king high. And just protect against any overcards coming if he's holding something like jack 9 or queen 10, just to get him to fold. How many hands has this guy played? We'll definitely give him I think we'll give him a wheel tag. So this suited, we're going to bump this up. We're going to bump it up a bit extra with a limper. Normally we'll just go 3 times the initial raise size. We've got limp and then raise, so we're going to knock this up to 11. I will get this all in these positions. I won't be delighted with it, but if it goes raise again, we would have been jamming. Don't forget to tag your short stacks and your weaker players. We've missed one there, we'll give him a bad tag. This guy seems quite tight. 106 hands, we'll tag him as half decent. Gutter ball on table 4. I might consider raising this. The only problem is he's so short that if we raise, the chance he just jams it in. I think I will pop a little raise out here. Don't need to go huge. If he's got something, he'll call. If he hasn't, he'll fold. And then I think we just give up. We hold a heart as well, so it's less likely he's got heart draw. He's probably got a 9. And we've got a little bit of showdown value. I don't fancy turning this into a bluff because I don't ever see him folding. We beat some 8 and stuff, which we block. I don't think we beat much. I think we lose to a 9 here. And we'll just fold. Ace king off, we open. If we get 3 bet, we'll 4 bet. What's this guy's stats like? We'll give him a red tag as well until we know any different. He seems pretty tight. If this gets squeezed by him, we would most definitely be folding. So this will just in position go for a half pot C bet. There's a lot of fold there. Fair enough, we take it down. For one big blind, I think we probably have to call. I hate calling raggy aces, but for a blind, we probably should. Completely whiff. And this will bump up to 4. We don't want him seeing a cheap flop. This is just when he goes pot there, we'll just fold. So we've got 2 overs and the flush draw. In position, we'll go for a half pot C bet. I expect him to call if he's hit any of that. And I think I'm going to go for quite a large bet on the turn. Now hopefully he doesn't have 7-8 and we've got nothing to do but jam it in. And I think against 2 players here we're just going to check. He's called a 3 bet out of position, which puts him on like 10s, 9s, diamonds. It's less likely anybody's got a jack now. I don't know if we can call this because there's a player behind who could have pocket 8s, 9s or 10s. I don't ever see folding, and he's gone fairly large, so I think I'm just going to fold. Keep it simple. If you'd have gone sort of half pot or less there, I would have called, but we're in a piggy in the middle there in a bit of a difficult spot. This guy can have pretty much anything. Still playing quite snug. And if this guy's got an ace, we'll get the rest of his stack off him. Don't really need to go massive here. I'm going to go for half pot in position here as well on table 4. So if we go just over half pot, we're then not too bad of a stack to put the jam in. Just over 1.5, we'll get it in. Okay. Well, we'll take it. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Fantastic. This is what I mean about, that's a good example of me spunking a good portion of that bankroll off the other day, is trying to get people to fold stuff. He hasn't even got an ace there and he's calling down. They're just not good players. This is a limp pot and I was going to fold there anyway. This one, he's not 3-bet, but he's not made it an egregious size, so I think I'm actually going to call. And depending on size here, we'll probably be giving up. And then we've got a good shot here, and this guy barely played any hands with him. We're just going to fold this one. I think I might call this actually, and then if he hasn't got an ace, he's probably going to check, so we can bet turn. So I'm going to go for a bluff here, and 10 big blind bluff. If he hasn't got an ace, I think he'll fold. And then we'll just give up now. If he's got an ace, he's never folding, so we'll just check it back. Yeah, we're not going to get him off an ace. This one, we're half pot as per. And he's so short here, he's not going to fold an ace either, so we'll just be checking that back. We do beat some diamonds. We'll probably beat here, but we'll most definitely beat, I would think. But for one big line, we can't really fold. And I don't think he's ever folding if we raise. So this one we're going to bump up to 14 with the betting a call. The ace jack suited, if we get 3-bet, we will probably call, unless it's this guy who never raises. So players like this with a 10% VPIP, if he's on our left, if I'm on the button, I would pretty much be opening any 2 cards because he's so tight. Other thing as well I'd mention is large river bets are way heavily weighted towards value bets. If you're calling rivers large pot size, 3/4 pot at 2NL and 5NL, you might pick the odd one off as a bluff, but the majority are not. They just get greedy with the value and pile it in, and it's something I do because I know people call. So if you've played these stakes for any length of time, you know you can get called with, like that guy called there was 3rd pair on an ace high board. So this guy seems quite aggro, or maybe not. I think this one, I'm just going to fold this for now. We'll see what his strategy is. I want to play a little bit tighter and just fold this one and then see what he's up to. If he does it quite regular, then we can alter what we're doing. This ace-9 off will be calling rather than 3-betting because people are not folding 3-bets. And then I would like to see what develops on the turn. A donk out, he's pretty much saying he's got a queen or a club draw. He's not made it egregiously big. And I think I'm just going to fold actually. Don't want to get myself... with Bankrolls coming back up slowly but surely after a session in a bit, so don't want to spunk it off trying to pick bluffs off. This we're going to bump up to 5 with him limping in. And I think on a paired board like this, I think we can bet half pot. Normally I check out position, but a half pot bet should take this down a good percentage of the time. He'd jam his hearts. His 8x I think would jam as well. It's not an easy flop to hit, so I think I like a bet there and just take it down against the weaker player. And we'll be happy just to check this and see a flop. It's a nice flop. We don't want to go bankrupt on a limp pot if he's got Jack 10 or 9, 10 or something like that. We'll see what he does. I don't think he ever checks a 10 back here. We can't go big really because there's not a lot can call us. We block some draws as well with the 6. Yeah. We've got to put some money in at some point, so this one I don't really like going multi-way with this, but this guy doesn't seem too out of line. I think I'm just going to flat actually. Bit passive, but when he blasts out pot. This is such a bad bet that if he's got a queen, nothing's going to call him. So basically, it's got to be a bluff. And we block quite a lot of queens, but I'm not going to do anything but fold. But it's such a bad bet. Bad bet size. It's unbelievable. We'll see what he does. If he does that on another paired board, I'll just raise it off against him. And this one, I think I'm actually going to raise with the king queen. It's just gone over just over half pot. If we bump this up to, we don't need to go huge, 9. Terrible turn card for us. We'll check that back. We block some clubs with us having the queen of clubs. He could have been calling us with an ace club draw, and when it goes check check, I don't think I can bet for value. We'll get called by king jack. I think I'm going to go for a small value bet. We might be value owning to see. I'm just targeting a king, basically a worse king than ours. He could have the. We're just definitely folding that there. When they jam river like that, he's just got it. And this, because he's made it so small again, we're sort of in a position where we've got to call. But we're not even going to get a full stack if we do hit, which isn't great. We do hit the 2, which is nice. I'd imagine we get the rest of his stack off him. When he checks, I think we just check back. And then now we put him all in, maybe? Do we need to? Yes to 12 and then jam river, whatever comes on the river. If he's got a 7, he's got a 7 really, but there's not a lot we can do. Call ace high maybe. 7 would have snapped us off, so we should be good here. Probably should have raised, probably could have put him all in on the turn there really. If he's got like ace king, ace queen, he probably would have called. I'd imagine we'll see an ace high flop. Shock. Can do nothing with 2 people in position but check this over. Someone will likely have an ace. And pretty much got to fold with another play to act after us. If we call and he calls, we're definitely beat. So I think I'm just going to fold this. Multi-way pots, very unusual for players to be bluffing. He can be thinking he's got the best hand with the jack, but who knows? He's really bad as well, playing like any 2 cards. This guy seems pretty confident and pretty tight. And I think I don't mind a call here. Mind you, this guy's super tight. I'm actually just going to fold. Normally I wouldn't mind calling this because he's definitely going to call anyway. And this guy's playing, well, he's only played 3 hands. So I think I'm just going to fold against him. In position with the ace queen, I don't mind flattening this on the button. And queen's here will bump up. Small bet, I'm going to raise. I normally only do this with a bit of equity, but that does not hit his range at all. We can have 6 7s and stuff, pocket 6s. And out position with middle pair, I'm just going to check this. Calling a raise with Jack 10. I think we've probably got the best hand here. I'm not going to bet though. Because what can I get value from other than 10x? Might be value owning ourselves here. I think a king bets again because they don't want to see an ace coming. I'm going to go 3rd pot. If he jams, we'll fold. Ace 10. Called it. Nice value, but I'm quite happy with that. And this one, ooh, this guy's pretty tight, so I'd expect this to be at worst ace king. So I'm going to call, and then if we hit, we're probably going to get his stack. If we don't hit a 4 on the flop, we're just folding, we're giving up. I think we just call down here. I think if we raise, because there's no draws, he's probably going to fold. So I think we just call and let him pile it in. This one, against two people, it's a really good run out for us. Unless he's got pocket eights, we get the stack. Let's get it in. I think he's got jacks, queens, kings, aces, and ace king. He thinks two pair. I think it's a terrible call down. That's all we've got to remember to do, is get the maximum value when you've got the best hand, and stop trying to bluff people off stuff. I don't mind flop and turn bluffs, but river bluffs is just a waste of time. You've seen what people are calling down with. It's just pointless. The Queen 7 suited will open in the small blind if we get chance, and this 9-10 suited I'm also going to bump up to 4 and open. Now, I think that's one of the first times I've seen him raise, so he's limping in with nearly the full deck. Just trying to get lucky. Fold now, crap. If this was suited, I would have called. I think I'm just going to fold this and play tight. Make the decisions easy. And I'm going to call this, I think, 58 hands, 6% 3 bet. I'm going to fold, actually. This one, limp pot. I don't ever see him limping in with an ace. Maybe he is. I think we've got to fold now because we've picked up nothing. The flush draw coming in. Looks like this guy on table 4 was thinking about betting. There's not a lot can call us really. We block the heart draw and we've got top pair, but we might as well bet. 9x can call us, Jack 10 can call us. Again, half pot, just over. I think half pot's fine. That'll get the pot up to 24, and then we can just jam river. Whatever the river is, basically, we'll be jamming. There's another half stacker. I'll like 3-betting ace 9 off every now and again, but because his stack is so short, we're basically going to get jammed on if he's got anything, so I'll not waste our chips. I think we just check this back, just call even, and then check flop. Depending on size, and we might call a bet. If it goes huge, I'm just going to fold. That size is fine. I think we'll call. We've got backdoor straights and flushes and an overcard. Again, small bet. He can have a lot of 2 pair here, so I'm just going to call. I don't think we're ever getting him off anything with his stack size, so we'll call this river bet. I think we might be good with our ace, to be honest with you. We obviously can't fold for that size. 2 pair, straight. Fair dues. On pocket aces, obviously we're raising up. See if this guy wants to limp call. This is interesting, up on the top table. I'll play for another couple of minutes and then call it a day for this session. Pretty straightforward, nothing too outlandish, just back to basics. Getting it in when we're good and getting paid off, basically. And this guy's quite aggressive. I think probably got a call for one big blind, really. I mean, you've seen this. We've got no apart. If we had some clubs here, I would have raised this off, but I'm not going to bother. I mean, you saw one of the earlier hands when I had ace queen, and the guy sort of min bet into us, and we raised the flop. And he called the flop raise with Jack 10 of diamonds. Not even a pair or anything really. No draw either to speak of, just two overcards. It's really poor. So trying to get people off stuff is where I went wrong the other day, basically. Might call this. Definitely for one big, we'll be calling. Two pairs, nice. We block some diamonds as well, so I don't think we can really bet here and get called by anything at all. So I'm going to just check this back and check again. Hopefully he hits something on the river and piles some money in. We're not going to get anything here, I don't think. We could maybe go one big blind and see if he spazzes out and tries to dump a load of money in. Yeah, we're never getting anything there, unfortunately. We picked up a gutter on the turn here. I'm going to bet quite big, see if we can take it down. I'm not going to blast river against a guy who's playing 3/4 of the deck. We will give up. He could have called with a shit spade draw, but if we re-raise, I don't think we're going to get anyone to fold, really. I've seen people calling down with ace high, so we'll just wait till we've got it and then get it in. So this is either a slow played king or pocket queens, I would think. He's got ace king, I'm guessing. Wow, that is so badly played. So bad. This will raise for value. This guy seems quite tight. He's played a few hands. And on a paired board, not as I said before, normally I'd check this back, but I'm just going to go for a small bet. We'll barrel on any spade turn, a jack or an ace, otherwise we'd give up. And I think we go 25 now, rep the king, and we've got some Troy stuff. I think we just give up now. He could have a 10, so there's no intention of folding. Even if we jammed with ace king here, we would get called by a 10, they won't fold. So I think we'll just check this back. The only other thing I can see him potentially having is 8-9. Potentially. 10x raise ever. I would expect 10x would have raised. Do we go for this, trying to get... Because if he jams, we're in a bit of bother, really. Yeah, 10x, we weren't getting a fold there. We'll call this multi-way as well. Ace 2 suited. It's quite a large bet. Can have spade draw here, betting for that size, so I'm going to call. Can have a better ace than us, obviously. And then we chop with a lot of aces now. Quite a large bet. I think I'm going to call this with the spades not coming in. It's probably a bad call because these are normally value heavy, these river bets, especially into two people. Do I fold this? Yes, Jack. Yeah, it's always value. And this I'm going to raise now. He's gone quite small. I'm going to bump this up to 15 and then we'll go half pot here. I should have folded. It's a bad call. And I think I'm going to... do I just call here? Pocket it, an 8, pocket 8. Alright, okay, maybe not. Well, you lose one and then you win one. So Jack 10 gets there, two pairs get there, 8, 9. I basically think this is a fold. Yeah, I'm just going to fold this. And then, oh, we're nearly up to 40 minutes. I'll play for 2 more and then jack it. Bit narc with myself for that call because I knew we were beat as well. We're going to rep this king here. I'm going to go for an overbet on the turn and then give up river. Seven. Champion. Some more short stacks. I think we'll be up maybe to buy-in if we're lucky this session.